today we're gonna read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the Getaway Story, starting on yesterday's, the end of chapter. The end of page. So today we were gonna start reading on 60 page, and maybe we can finally make the chapter today because the chapter is almost comes out. Now, are you ready for read this one book with a lot of stories? Now here we go. And first we can read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the Getaway Story, starting on 60 page. I walked through the front of the plane, but before I even got to the first class section, the flight attendant told me that economy passengers have to use the restroom at the back. The bathroom in the economy section was really small, but the being in there was 100 times better than being stuck in my seat. It was sort of like a little tiny apartment I had all to myself. In since class, we learned that when human waste gets dropped out of an aeroplane toilet and freezes solid. Some guy in my town once found a chunk of a waste that fell from the plane, and he thought it was a meteorite. I think that guy was hoping to sell it for a lot of money, but once the thing showed, he found out what he was totally worthless. Once I was settled into the bathroom, I figured there was no reason to go back to my seat. And so whenever someone else came along to use it, I just made the bathroom noises until when they went away. Fabbit! One person must have really needed to go because they shook the door handle so hard that I thought it might actually break off. Then they went away. But a few minutes later, the whole bathroom shook. And whenever he was needed to use the toilet a lot more than I need, so I opened the door, but there's no one there. That's when I realized it wasn't just the bathroom shaking, it was the whole plane. I thought we must have landed in the water or lost the engine or something, but then the pilot come over intercom. Hey folks, we just hit a little patch of bumpy air. And that didn't sound right to me. I figured what really happened was that the pilot fell asleep in his seat and kicked his steering wheel or something. And then he came up with his bumpy air excuse because that actually what I'd do if I was in the same situation. I guess the flight attendant could see that I was pretty rattled. He said we were just going through the little turnip blunts, which was perfectly normal for the flight like this. Well, if this kind of thing is normal, then there is no chance I'm never becoming a pilot because if I were flying on the plane, I bet out there would be a first sign of in the trouble. The flight attendant told me I need to return to my seat and buckle up. But when I got back, it was already occupied. I didn't really want to move a baby because I knew it would just wake up and started crying again. So I went up in the front of the plane to kick Roderick out of his first class and let him deal with the baby. But I couldn't get to him. One of the wheels in the drink trolley had broken because of the turbulence, and it was blocking my way. I was out of options, so I went back to my seat. Don't ask me how, but I was actually able to get an hour or two for sleep. And I was so tired I don't even wake up when we landed. Now it's Tuesday. Now let's see, where is the chapter? So I can figure I will gonna read one more chapter, or I will gonna tell you the receipt. I will gonna tell you the receipt. So yesterday and another yesterday and yesterday story is all the plane story. And the plane have a seat, first seat, and not a first seat, just a normal seat. But Gregory's family have seated in the first seat, but Gregory has in the normal seat. So Gregory have sit down with another family, and it might be really hard to sit with them. It might be so hard. I can understand about that maybe. So now we have read this story, and maybe tomorrow I will gonna get a new beginner new stories, because we have read a lot of story about the plane. And now, do you have fun? Your listeners contribute, come back with some new beginner new stories tomorrow. And now, please subscribe my YouTube, and bye bye everyone.